You're watching AAA Backstage, and we're here with Project Montreal. How you going, Ryan?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. You've got a very complex and sophisticated sound. How do you explain the way you sound on stage or live or recorded to people that have never heard you before?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Well, I guess the best way probably to describe the music is just a mix of a bunch of stuff I was interested in when writing it. So there's a lot of different textures in there, which range from sort of using orchestral elements to electronic, sampled, acoustics, and then regular stuff you just find in a band. And then just how you combine all of those. Just take all of that, throw it together.
And has it taken you a while to perfect your combination of all those elements?
No, not really, man. Like, I guess the big thing behind writing the music for the album was it was all about pursuing song ideas as opposed to pursuing a certain sound. So you'd have, as opposed to going, this is the sound I want to write 10 songs to, it was just having a real curiosity with the songwriting process and just following that and just starting the songs from different areas, different elements.
Okay. And have you gone down a certain path in the way to getting to where you are now, where you really like the sound and then you played it to somebody else and they're like, oh, it's a little bit strange? Or have you always sounded like your new single Colours, or have you explored certain different avenues?
Well, I guess this project is the first thing I've ever done in like a pop sense. Before that, I was studying music at university, which was all just jazz guitar.
Yep.
So I'd even, without even any effects pedals, just straight guitar.
Yeah.
So after doing that for probably, I think it was about 6 years in the end, it was just this real curiosity to just want to get in and explore other textures and sounds.
Absolutely. 6 years of jazz guitar, do you find yourself accidentally falling into the trap of writing a jazz song before you approach a Project Montreal song?
No, not really. It was just... No, long story short, no.
Long story short, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess the thing is, the big thing of like writing all the music for the album, and particularly this single, was it was the idea, the opportunity to explore something else, something different, as opposed to, I guess the way I look at the guitar for me is it's a way to sort of, it's almost like a workbench, a way if you can understand music, how it all works together. Because you spend so much time studying all the harmony, chord shapes, because you know. Yes. But yeah, like that's the thing. It's not really. It's just something that I did. It's in there somewhere, but I'm not really overly conscious how much it comes out in the music.
So to create the Project Montreal sound, which is quite a big sound for one man, are you a multi-instrumentalist, or how do you create the synth to the vocals to the drum beats? Like, how do you create everything that comes into a Montreal song?
Well, I guess the thing is, writing this record, it was pretty much, it all just started with writing really basic elements, so either a piano or just a guitar, and like just working on the song. And then sort of while you're doing that on the side, you've got things where like you've got your laptops, you've got your electronic rig, where you're sort of tinkering away with ideas, and then it's almost like you're cooking a bunch of like a couple of dishes at once, and then you just sort of like something will pop up and you go, oh, and like, or you take an idea from that and sort of mix it with something else you're doing, and sort of just, you're just exploring.
Okay.
In a way.
Your first single, Colours, off the new album, which, what's the new album called? What was the first album called?
The album will be called Patterns.
Patterns,
So
cool.
that should be coming out mid-year.
Awesome. So the lead single off Patterns is called Colours.
Yeah.
You're launching that in a few days' time, Black Bear Lodge in Brisbane.
Yep.
With the rest of the album, can we assume that it's going to sound like Colours, which is kind of like a folk electro-pop hybrid, I guess some people would consider?
Yeah. It's not like, in regards to the rest of the album, I'd say no. Yeah, because of the people that were involved on the album, and just the process in which it was written. Like, there's working with Van Dyke Parks, there's one we worked with.
For those who don't know Van Dyke Parks, what's Van Dyke Parks famous for?
Van Dyke Parks is probably most famous for his work with back in the day, the Beach Boys. I think more recently there's Bruce Springsteen, and an Australian U2, I think, in the 80s as well.
So how's he come on board with Project Montreal?
I guess initially it was just in regards to orchestral orchestration. Like he worked mainly on one track in particular, and then just conducting the orchestra as well in Prague where we recorded. So yeah, like there's a lot of different sounds, a lot of different textures. But yeah, I think coming back to the question, it was there's a lot of different ideas that have been explored, and so yeah, it's a little bit of a journey in a sense.
You just touched on then that you recorded some, or if not all, the album in Prague. Why choose
parts of it.
Yeah, why choose Czechoslovakia to record parts of your debut album?
Well, I guess the biggest thing was like working with Van Dyke and actually going, all right, when he came on board, we needed to find some more like an orchestra, and he's had experience working there before. Yeah, and it was just an opportunity that was too good to pass up, to go to Prague and work with the Prague Philharmonic.
Yep. So was he your contact for the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, or did you shoot them an email and see what happened?
Oh, we spoke to a few orchestras initially, a few in one in LA, one in Seattle, one in Sydney, and then one in Prague as well. So it was just one of those things where it worked out that was the best fit to sort of get everyone together, because Van Dyke was he came down from Germany, I think, at the time. So yeah, it just worked out well. And so yeah, he had a contact working there on other projects in the past.
So did he have to translate English to German and then German to Czech to try and communicate what the composition was, or how did that work?
No, there was a I'm trying to think of the word in English. A translator. I'm getting stuck with Spanish. But
well, you could answer this question in Spanish if that's going to make it any easier.
No.
Sí, bueno.
You speak Spanish?
Me no hablo.
No, but yeah, coming back to it, there was a translator on deck at all times. So sort of he's up there conducting, and a little lovely lady to the left of him handing out the orders and. That's a tough language.
I can imagine. Coming back to Brisbane, you're launching Colours in a few days.
Yep.
What are you going to bring anything special to the set at Black Bear Lodge? Have you got anything special planned for the single launch?
Yeah, we've got a few extra songs that we're working into our live set, which will be on the album. We've got, I guess the other thing too is with the film clip that goes along with the single, that's sort of due out this week as well. So very excited about that. That was a lot of work. The whole thing was done in time lapse, so that was a lot of work to get that together. So,
am I correct in saying you standing in random places of Brisbane for a long period of time, or how would you explain the video?
The video, it starts off. It's made of 6,000 photos, and it was also initially we filmed like the director was for a production house called Blue Room Productions. And so what we did initially was I had to stand in front of a green screen and just sing the lyrics. So to have the lyrics in time, and everyone else moving around, and we had and then he chopped all those into every second was divided up into 25 photos. So after every photo, I have to reference my phone and mimic the mouth position, and then it's. I feel like I'm on a psychologist's couch, like reliving it a bit. But it was,
Has that process changed the way you're going to sing that song live? Like, are you going to have different facial features for that song compared to the way you're going to sing it?
I'll be referencing facial expressions the whole time.
Oh no, I'm not showing enough teeth, or my mouth is too close for that part of the song.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Okay. Final question for the interview, Ryan. Without using the letter E, what are the 3 words that can describe Project Montreal best?
Without using the letter E?
Yes.
Eclectic.
Did you say eclectic rather than eclectic? That's one.
That's one.
Yeah.
I guess it's just 3 words, not in a sentence. Okay.
Give me 3 sentences if you prefer.
3 sentences.
Yeah, why not?
Alright, first sentence.
Go big or go home.
Alright, so the first sentence, I guess, it's it's alternative pop music which just explores a bunch of different elements and textures. It's almost like a mix between a solo project and a band. Is that the second sentence?
Yeah,
We can
I'll
count
pay that a second sentence.
All right,
Second sentence.
third sentence describing the rest of the music. Just long pause here.
I am Project Montreal. Stop.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
All right, you heard it here first from AAA Backstage. Thank you very much for your time, Project Montreal.
Thanks
And
for
you
having
can
me.
catch him this Thursday at Duckburg Lodge.